Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from the beautiful Carolinas. Today's topic is going to be why it was never enough for the narcissist. Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share. So it would never be enough for the narcissist. They have an insatiable appetite to collect so many things, which includes broken relationships, hearts, money, assets, time. Anything they can get their hands on, they want to accumulate. That's one of the things that the narcissist thrives on, is accumulation, because they believe that their poor actions will never have a consequence. So that's why they go through life doing what they do. They fall into relationships or have people enter relationships with them, wearing a mask many times, and then they take from those people, which at one point was you, certainly was me, and then they discard those people, or that person, if they're super strong, they end it themselves, but not without a huge price to pay. Because remember, the narcissistic relationship is the relationship you need to heal from. You can't put a Band-Aid over it. You can't jump right back into the dating pool. You're gonna find yourself in a cocoon of boundaries post-narcissistic relationship. You're gonna have to really self-isolate. That is not when the narcissist isolates you. It's self-isolation and preservation, because you have just been through a very challenging relationship, to say the least. But it would never be enough for the narcissist. It didn't matter what you did or didn't do. Many times during one-on-one sessions with people, they will ask me, hey, is there something I could have done? Should I have done this? What if the narcissist changed their mind? What happens if I unblock them? What happens if I do A, B, and C? And the path and the solution and the answer is just this. That relationship you were a part of, it was going to break one way or the other. And it probably broke multiple times throughout the relationship. You just didn't realize it. Or maybe you ended it yourself at one period of time, or maybe the narcissist did, but for some reason you two got back together again. Now again, the narcissist could be anybody. It could be your mom, dad, aunt, uncle, brother, sister, sibling, romantic interest, neighbor, colleague, person in a community and or organization you are and or were a part of. It could be anybody. I'm not referring to just romantic relationships, but what I am saying is, if a relationship is fractured and it's not mended rather quickly, many times it will continue to stay fractured, and many times you will try to fix that relationship. And again, if it's with a narcissist, you need to understand this. The narcissist doesn't want to fix it. They want to fake fix it, because they still haven't finished with you. So if the relationship was shaky in the beginning of your relationship with the narcissist, I can assure you, it would not ever improve. The narcissistic relationship has an expiration date. We now know that. Sometimes it lasts a couple days, weeks, months, years, decades. Maybe it's only a couple times that you see the narcissist, who knows? But each and every time you would encounter that person, you would not feel yourself. You would be walking around on eggshells. You would be a walking apology. You would be an unpaid helper. You would be the sounding board. You would be the person who had to regulate the narcissist. So it didn't matter what you did in that relationship. It was going to break. It was going to end, because the narcissist was looking to break it. And there are only two ways these relationships go on. One is, there are only two ways the relationship exists. One is you tolerate the poor behavior and you turn a blind eye, or you don't pay attention to the red flags, which is what most of us did. And then the gas pedal of abuse gets ramped up more and more, meaning you're gaslit and you're stonewalled and given silent treatment and triangulated and everything. And the narcissist gets accustomed to doing this, and you get accustomed to doing it. The difference here is that the narcissist knows what they're doing. Do they know the terms and the definitions on the narcissistic abusive cycle? Probably by now they do, but you didn't back then, and you kept on working for the relationship. And the other way, when you're in this relationship, is if you wise up and you figure it out quickly that, hey, I can't be treated this way. I have my health, I have my status, I have my worth, and I know exactly who I am, and I'm not going to enter this relationship. But those people are very few and far between. People become like that, meaning people have boundaries and no longer will tolerate poor behavior, once they've healed, once they've gone through the narcissistic abusive cycle, and they understood that they had to go through that relationship. There was no other way. Then they slowed their life down, they healed, they processed things, and then they realized, wow, that was the most challenging relationship I have ever been a part of. And I did everything I possibly could have to not only please this person who turned out to be a narcissist, but to improve their life and their circumstances, maybe even their immediate family members or extended family members. You see, you gave to a fault. You did everything under the sun that you could do. Would there ever be enough money for the narcissist? No, there's no such thing as that. The narcissist has an unquenchable appetite for money. And what do they like more than their money? That's right, they like your money more than their money. That's why when you were in the relationship, I'm almost certain you were financially abused. You were spending your money left, right, and center, and the narcissist was hiding their money or squirreling it away, so because they wanted to blow through your money. That's one aspect. Another aspect is love and empathy. If you possess these, both love and empathy, you're a very fortunate person. And the narcissist, remember, they can't love people, and they have very little or zero empathy. They don't care about people. They just look at people as opportunities. And what they do is they weaponize your love and empathy against yourself. And so would there ever be enough love or empathy? No, there won't be. The narcissist will take anything that you will offer them, anything that makes you you, and they will weaponize it and turn it against you. And love and empathy are two other things. What about your time? Could you have given more time to the narcissist? You probably could have, but then again, when you're experiencing abuse on a day in, day out basis for weeks, months, years, maybe even decades, why would you want to be around somebody? You wouldn't. The thing is, you were compelled, you felt drawn to them because you were probably in the trauma bond, or there was probably a very high price to pay if you didn't do what they wanted you to do. Again, maybe they would financially abuse you if it was your mom or dad, or maybe they would isolate you or instill more of the smear campaign. Who knows what they would do? But your time, it would never be enough either, because the narcissist, what they want to do is they want to keep people stuck and trapped. They don't want people advancing. They don't want people healing. They don't want people seen behind the mask. They don't want to be accountable. And the narcissist cannot introspect. That's why you carried the weight of the relationship on your shoulders. From the minute you met them until the minute it ended, you were doing all the heavy lifting. You were the one who was paying their way through a period of their lives. You were the one who was going on vacations around the globe and paying for them. You were the one who was raising the kids. You were the one who was being the errand person and getting all the food and groceries and paying bills, etc. Now, did the narcissist contribute? Maybe they did. I can't tell you. But what I can tell you is, if you had money and they knew it, they were going to burn through your money. And they were going to try and get anything they could from you. And money and time are two of the things. Think about this one. Think about all the time you spent with the kids or people, extended family members. All that time that you invested into those relationships, that's a lot of time, I'm sure. And you built up some very strong and perhaps loving relationships, but that all goes away too, because the narcissist drives wedges between you and everybody, not just your own immediate family members and colleagues and neighbors and coworkers and people in hobby groups and organizations, but they do it between you and the extended family members as well. Now, the extended family members, i.e. the family of the narcissist, do they know that the narcissist is a narcissist? This is a very important question that I guess get asked frequently. My take is they do. They may not know the term, but they do know that that person had challenges, and I'm being very polite. And many times the family does know exactly what the person is. They're not going to come out and tell you that, though, because let's say it was a romantic relationship. If they told you who your partner, perhaps even your spouse or your fiance was, you probably wouldn't have believed them. And what you probably would have done is you would have maybe even told your partner or spouse-to-be or fiance that what their parents told you. And then here we go, the show begins. You see, you can't win in a narcissistic relationship. The only way you ever will win is when you remove yourself from the relationship and you go no contact. You block these people. You delete them. You remove all flying monkeys and people associated with them. If not now, when? If you can't do it, I understand. Utilize gray rock, just like this beautiful wall behind me. Become dull and boring and get off of the radar. Now, I am bouncing around a lot in this video, but I want to let you know it would never be enough. You could have owned your own country. You could have owned all the solar system. You could have had all the money in the world. You could be the most beautiful person on the planet. You could have the best network of friends. You could own the best houses anywhere. Think of anything. You could have all the gold in the world. It would never be enough for the narcissist. The narcissist will always have wandering eyes. They will always triangulate people. They will always be searching for that next new shiny object. And once they find the next new shiny object, which at one point was you and it certainly was me, they place a lot of their attention and energy into that to get that person to fall in love with them or to get whatever they can from them. And that person feels like they just hit the lottery or just entered the best relationship they've ever been in, because it's all smoke and mirrors. It's like a used car with a brand new paint job. There's no engine underneath the used car that you just bought off the lot. You try to drive it off the lot and it won't start. That's what the narcissistic relationship is. That's why they don't want to see you behind the mask and or look under the hood. But it will never, ever be enough for the narcissist. They will keep on pressing that gas pedal of abuse. They will keep on triangulating you. They will keep on gaslighting you, telling you, no, you didn't do that. What are you talking about? They will do whatever they can because this is what they know. They know one thing at their core: to inflict damage and to take as much as they possibly can from the subject or from the target. Again, that was you. It certainly was me. One more minute in a narcissistic relationship when you've identified that that's who this person is, or a toxic person in general, is 1 minute too long. Because you really need to understand this life is your life. It's meant to be cherished, relished, honored, experienced, loved, celebrated. You don't get any of that with the narcissist. With the narcissist, what you do is you get your life being put on hold. You get your life being taken from you. You become a pawn or a pauper, and you become a unpaid helper, etc. And you're doing things for the narcissist, and you're improving their circumstances to the detriment of yourself. You're essentially living their life while your life is on hold. And time goes by, and a lot of time goes by usually. And then what happens is post-relationship, whether you were discarded or you ended it yourself, what happens there? Two pivotal things happen there. One, the narcissist just drifts away onto the new supply because they have been grooming and lining that supply up, i.e. your replacement, for a long time, most likely. And they've been waiting to discard you or end the relationship, or if you ended it, they still are going to go on to a new supply. And the second thing, they don't think twice about the relationship. They're out of it. They inflicted as much damage as they could. They grabbed as much of your belongings and valuables and assets and your heart, etc., and they're gone. Now, what do you have to do? The second part is you have to heal. Remember, this is the relationship you need to heal from. So this is where you're going to find out. You're going to have to slow your life down, process things, maybe even heal childhood wounds, journal, meditate, see a therapist, watch videos, read, do everything slowly and unwind that relationship. And then you're going to have to ask yourself the tough questions. Did you do everything you could have done? Could you have done more? Did the narcissist love you? Was there anything that makes you believe the narcissist can change? And I'll tell you the answers to all those questions. You could not have done more. That narcissistic relationship ended when it did because the narcissist took whatever they could, and either A, they already went on to a new supply because they believe that supply source is naive and doesn't know that they're a narcissist, or they're a recycled person, but the narcissist is getting something from that person right now. Maybe a roof over their head, maybe money, maybe a business loan, I don't know, but they're getting something. The narcissist has to acquire, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video. They need to feel like they're acquiring things and accumulating things, and they're getting one over on people. So that's one. The next thing is, could you have done more? Or I already mentioned that. Could you have done more? No, you couldn't have. Did the narcissist love you? No, they can't love anybody. Should you have done what you did in the relationship? Like, could you have done more? I think I've said that twice now. You couldn't have done anything. The only thing you could have done was finally realize that that relationship was something that you had to go through to get to where you are right here and right now. And that the narcissist is out doing whatever they're doing, but it should not involve you or include you. You see, the narcissistic abusive cycle just goes around and around and around. And at one point you were in the middle of that cycle. And that's when your life took a hit, and that's when your life was turned upside down. But no longer are you in it. Now somebody else is in the middle of that, i.e. the new supply or multiple sources of supply. So realize it would never be enough for the narcissist. It did not matter what you did. It did not matter what you said. It didn't matter. The narcissist ripped the mask off. They crashed it on the ground, most likely. I'm certain that the ending of the relationship was not fun to experience. It wasn't fun for me. It's a very, very challenging experience to go through. One that my hope is that no one ever goes through again on the planet. But having said these things, you need to take the lifelong learning lessons from the relationship, apply them to present day, not live in the past and not predict the future. You need to understand that that relationship has now allowed you time to heal. It's allowed you time to introspect. It's allowed you time to create boundaries. It's allowed you time to realize and learn all about yourself. And that, yes, in fact, there are people on the planet that don't have your best interest at heart. And the narcissist is at the top of that list. Bear this in mind also. I say this in videos frequently. If the narcissist walked up to you when you first met them and they said, here, read this. It's a 2-page report on who I am, what I'm going to do to you, and how it's going to end. Because they know all these answers, by the way. They really sincerely do. If they did that, you would have read it and you would have said, wow, I don't know exactly what the narcissist is, but it sounds like you're a nasty person, maybe even borderline evil. I want nothing to do with you. Thank you, but no thank you. There are 8 billion people on the planet. I'll enter a relationship with a healthy, stable person. I don't need to be in that with you. But see, that's not what the narcissist did. What they did is they wore a mask to manipulate you, which is another reason why this is not your fault. And it would never be enough no matter what you did, because the narcissist wanted you to believe in the mask. They wanted you to believe in their words and put aside their actions, meaning their poor behavior and all the nastiness that they dished out to you. And they expected you to just be there day after day, week after week, month after month, on hold, living their life and pumping up their life and paying their way through life until something broke. And each and every narcissistic relationship sincerely does have an expiration date. You now know that. So this wasn't your fault. There's nothing else you could have done about it. What you need to do now is slow your life down and heal. So everyone, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. I almost said somewhere else. Oh my gosh. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon, evening, or morning, no matter where you are on the planet. You are not alone. And there's a lot of information packed in my videos. This one I bounced around a lot just to let you know that there's nothing more you could have done. Be kind to yourself. Be nice to yourself. Take pressure off yourself. Heal, learn, grow, teach, become awakened and aware, educated and empowered, and enter the third version of you. That's what you must do. It's very, very challenging, to say the least, when these relationships end. But over a period of time, if you really process what I'm sharing with you and you utilize the tools that are provided for you in the community and on the channel, you will understand that you can get through this. I did it. If I did it, you can do it. So understand, this was not your fault. There's nothing else you could have done. The narcissist made up their mind. They went on to a new supply, and that's what they're going to keep doing. They're going to keep staying in that cycle, going around and around and around. All right. I love you all. God bless you. And I will talk to you tomorrow. All right. Bye, everybody. And yes, you guys know what word I almost said. Bye.